Hey, coming up right now, a self-proclaimed Barbie wannabe plans to use her son's blood to fight aging.
Also coming up, passengers on board a delayed flight lose it after being stuck on the tarmac for hours.
And a little bit later on, a foodie dives into an unusual breakfast and shares her experience with a follower. Well, we'll see.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, and we're welcoming you to Daily Flash. This is our show. So glad to have you here. The whole crew's hanging out. James is, who are you texting there, James?
I'm trying to figure out, what I can do to get that, some airline stuff. But,
Oh, I see. Now, every sentence pretty much that you'll get from James is, I'm just trying to figure out. And we encourage that. To my right is a guy who's got it all figured out, is Matt Doolittle. What's up there, Erwin?
Yeah, but then when you try to text James, he can't get half
Yes.
your messages because he doesn't have an iPhone.
What? I can't help if you got the wrong phone. That's not my
Every time I
fault.
try to send you something, it's like,
What?
can't be delivered.
Well, that's because, those Apple phones are terrible.
You
That's
know,
why.
his solution to that was, let's just go and use, what's it called? WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. It's the best
the
thing
whole
ever.
company had to get on an app just because.
Just for James. It's
Hey,
frustrating.
hey, it's communication.
Communications. Here we go.
Then you got a
Take
flippy
this.
phone that you break every other month.
All right, so these ladies in a yoga class have had it with men trying to crash their yoga or Pilates classes.
Listen, I don't understand. We sit in the back, we leave y'all alone.
They say that the men are causing a huge distraction and they should not be allowed in Pilates or yoga classes. They say they should strictly be for women. They say the men are always grunting, slurping, and heavy breathing in workout classes with their
that's not
annoying
fair.
behaviors disturbing the rest of the females in attendance.
That's not fair.
That's discrimination.
Yeah.
There you go.
I-
That's
they're not-
discrimination.
Yeah,
Are they saying anything like we don't feel comfortable because they're
No.
probably, that's why I said
They
we're in the
just don't
back
like-
because we're watching.
they just don't like the grunting or the spitting or the heavy breathing.
Man, it's going to come to a day where us guys, we're not going to be able to do anything. I think I was
with you
talking
on
to you
that
about
one.
is that there was this lady, she was complaining saying that Instacart having only women, you'd be able to pick a man or a woman because this is a true story, I'm not lying. She said she ordered every time she gets it when a guy is doing her shopping, gets it completely wrong because you get substitutes. And one time she wanted some rice, and as God is my witness, she said she was given bananas and tampons. It's on
code
Reddit.
for rice.
And it's like, this is your substitution for rice is and once they drop it off, they leave, so you can't tell
my
afterwards.
God.
But in their defense, every time my wife sends me to the grocery store, I just say, "Babe, send me pictures."
Well, no, it's
we need-
100%.
That's fair.
When, they think if you go like Instacart, Uber Eats, or whatever, if they're going to do the shopping, you should be able to pick a man or woman. And she wants that to be a thing because women, they're better shoppers
She
than
thinks
men.
that the women would make better alternate choices in the event that they were out of what she wanted.
100%. Or even getting the right thing altogether.
Okay. I mean, I could see there's a point there. However,
But
I
for
do have
yoga?
a problem for women saying no men allowed in a yoga class or a Pilates class. I just think that's kind of ridiculous. I mean,
if you call it, hey, women only on Thursdays or whatever, would you have an issue with that? I mean, go on those days.
but could men do the same thing? Could they say men's only yoga class?
Yep, there you go. Men need safe
Right.
spaces too.
I mean-
Well, we
need
wouldn't
safe
do
spaces.
that.
And what if somebody says, well, and here we wander down this path of weirdness when we say, but I might identify as X, Y, and Z.
good
So
point.
now would these women have an argument?
That's
Hi,
a
my
very
name's
good point.
Martha.
Yeah.
Yoga is one of those where you do a lot of sweating for sure,
You do.
and there are some crazy. But for guys that making the noises, I mean, I'm sure there's women that do it as well.
Yes, of course.
Right, so let's leave it at that. A woman who is desperate to turn back Father Time says that she's going to try to do a blood transfusion from her son. This is true. Her name is Marcela Ingles. She's 47 years old, and she's actually already spent nearly 100 grand on various cosmetic procedures, you think? Look at her. She now plans to try a blood transfusion from her 23-year-old son in order to reverse the aging process. The self-proclaimed human Barbie says that blood transfusions are the new way to revitalize your cells. And when he approached her son with the idea, she said, his son, all right, yeah, I'll do it. Previous studies have shown that blood transfusions are effective in rodents. However, it remains unclear whether clinical benefits are actually helping out older humans. This is becoming more and more popular. There's a whole new redesigning as you get older, because we're having more and more older people come along. This is not necessarily a new idea. I know there's a lot of people actually that have tried this before.
Yeah, there's a good documentary on Netflix right now called The Man Who Wants to Live Forever. And it's a tech billionaire. And I believe he created Venmo.
Yeah. It was one of those tech guys.
One of those tech guys, one of those money apps. Anyway, he's got, money for days that could last him 5 lifetimes. But he's decided he is going to live in a way where everything he does will hopefully extend his lifespan. And in the documentary, he gets a blood transfusion from his son, and he gives a blood transfusion to his father. So all 3 of them are seen giving each other transfusions.
Blood. And, you wonder about that, as I said, in rodents. But also, I don't think this guy is, it's all about living. And if you see what this guy eats.
Oh, the same thing every day. Does
crazy
not.
medications, everything.
Everything. And his day is regimented from start to finish. Now, that's the way he wants to live his life, but to me, it's like there's never a day that you just have a ice cream cone or
is that living?
Yeah, right, exactly.
If he's in on it, then all right, I guess so. But that's dedication. You're going to have to be dedicated.
And what's the point of living to be 150 if you're living like that for your
wholeheartely
entire
agree.
life?
And we're not going to know. And more than likely, what's going to happen? Get hit by a car. Right?
It's like exactly.
The lady reminds me of my ex-wife Elizabeth Bathory. She
That's
sucked the blood out of me during the divorce. It is what it is. You know
Come
what I'm
on.
saying? Good old Elizabeth.
Yay.
What's wrong with you, James?
Oh my goodness. Passengers were fed up after waiting inside a plane on the tarmac for more than 5 hours. Oh gosh.
Wow.
The Air India flight was originally scheduled to take off at 8:25 in the morning. New video shows angry travelers standing, yelling, smacking the walls of the plane as they pleaded for updates and begged to be let off. However, technical issues caused the plane to be extensively grounded on the tarmac. As the hours passed, the passengers, I should say, grew increasingly irritable and demanded they be allowed to depart and go back inside the airport until the issue was resolved. The group was finally allowed to deplane around 1 in the afternoon. The captain remained in the cockpit, refusing to address the passengers. The flight eventually took off at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Passengers have continuously called for the airlines to be held accountable for delays and cancellations.
And this is in Air India, right?
Air India,
we have progressed along because there is laws now here in America.
Yes. Yeah. Could you imagine being it's like being trapped inside that cabin for 5 hours and no information.
And that's probably the worst.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we'll sit and wait for something might be happening in the control room. We want to know what's happening. That's all. You just want to know what's going on. And it's the same air recycling through. And then you have screaming kids and you're wanting to do it and you don't know. So I can imagine that just even brings on even more just frustration.
Yes.
Altogether. So think about that. A shellfish fanatic is what she calls herself, and alarmed her social media followers after she gobbled up 70 oysters, 70, in just one sitting for breakfast. A German food influencer frequently shares her mouth-watering experiences with her followers. The self-proclaimed oyster girl decided to complete the marathon at a restaurant in London. Now, she made sure to baptize each bite with Tabasco and lemon juice, which you got to do.
That's
Maybe
pretty
a
good.
cracker
Okay,
as well.
right.
There isn't mercury always an issue when it comes to oysters?
Yes.
It can be. I mean, obviously you'd have to make sure you get the right one. 70 oysters is a lot, by all means. I love oysters. And
Me too. I love oysters. Yeah.
Maddie, you like
Oh
them?
yeah, love them.
Oysters are great, but the ones where if you just eat them raw, it is disgusting.
Yeah.
And if you're a consistency person, it's got such a nasty consistency. But 70,
There's a
would you
reason
want
why
to be
she's
around her
single.
afterwards?
There's a reason why she's single. There you go.
I do like them with the horseradish, the cocktail sauce, the lemon juice.
Horseradish sauce.
Yeah.
What's always great about that is you'll eat 2 oysters with horseradish sauce, fine. You take the third one. What is it with horseradish sauce? Sometimes it gets you.
Yes,
And so you
that
don't know.
is
It's like
true.
roulette almost,
It is
right?
true, yeah.
But she seemed to be doing okay with it. But 70, I wonder what her stomach was
Cost
like.
like
the rest of the day.
$300.
It has to.
Easily.
In London, it has to be
Yeah.
even more. You're right.
Maybe she got it for free because she's a food influencer.
Possibly do. $1 an hour. $1 an oyster at happy hour.
Okay, see, now that's an issue because if I'm paying $1 for an oyster, isn't that questionable?
Right. You don't know where they're
Yeah.
from. And here in Florida, oysters should be cheap, right?
Yes.
We're
You
can go
surrounded
get 'em
by water.
outside.
Yeah.
Seafood.
But when they're too expensive, I'm like, I'm not paying $20 for 6.
It's inflation.
But they should be good. They're just snot. That's what you're just. It's disgusting. Still delicious though, right?
delicious.
Much like Daily Flash. And we got today's trends, tomorrow's talk. More of it after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's get you healthy out there. Could brain health lie in the choice of what you eat, either fish or red meat? Well, joining us now to talk about it is Hilary Brueck. She's health correspondent for Business Insider. Hilary, thank you so much to join us. Why should vegetarians consider actually putting some fish into their diet and become pescatarians, or maybe feet, like meat, for optimal brain health, which apparently it sounds like I need one of those others. Why should they actually consider that?
So this is a really interesting study because there's been a lot of research into the benefits of eating plants, eating vegetables, and we know that generally vegetarian diets are pretty healthy if you stick to, the non-processed foods. But this study showed something a little interesting, a little extra wrinkle in there, that people who were in their 80s and above, who had a little bit of meat in their diet, tended to have some better cognitive health than the vegetarians. So there were slightly fewer strokes, less dementia, fewer cases of Parkinson's. So suggesting that at older ages, a little bit of meat helps.
And is it because of necessary vitamins? I'm just going to pull stuff out just because I'm not an expert, but things that fish oil have in it as far as keeping the brain going. Is it because the meat actually might contain that sort of thing?
Yeah, you are right on there. They're not exactly sure what's going on here. Again, this is observational, so they haven't gone inside people's brains and looked at what's in there. But exactly right. Omega-3 fatty acids, your brain needs those, EPA, DHA. And people can get them from plant sources, but there's more in meat and fish and eggs and things like that.
Would you mind kind of expanding a little bit more about how the animal products actually specifically benefit cognitive function?
There's just more of those nutrients, those essential fatty acids in the meat and in eggs and in things like chicken or fish. And so you often hear, about the benefits of fatty fish like salmon. And that is really like fuel for your brain, basically.
Just ironically, this morning, I was talking to the camera guys, and they go, you're not a true vegan or vegetarian unless you tell 20 people a day that you are for some reason. But, it seems like a balance of everything. It seems like if you go one way or another, you're always missing out. And I bring this up because I said, for a year I'm going to stay off meat. And I found that I didn't have any energy, and come to find out I needed the iron that had it in it. Did things like this, did it inspire you to kind of explore the relationship between the diet, especially through vegetarianism as well as brain health?
Yeah, well, this study was really interesting because, as you say, it's all about balance. And what they were studying here was Seventh-day Adventists. So these people, healthy food is kind of part of their religion.
Right.
And so even the meat eaters here, they weren't eating a bacon cheeseburger every day. It's some meat on their plate a few times a week, along with lots of salad, whole grains, vegetables. So to me, that's what makes it a really interesting study, because you're comparing different healthy diets with and without meat to say, it looks like, at older ages, above the age of 75, 80, that's really doing something beneficial for your brain.
It makes a lot of sense. And, in America, we always seem like we always go to extremes. If we say, well, if we don't need meat, then we just cut it all out altogether. And that's, I guess, not the solution. Let's talk about those blue zones. In the context of blue zones, where many people live long and healthy lives, how do you reconcile the benefits of plant-based diets with the idea that some animal products actually might be necessary for that brain health?
Yeah, well, the researcher I spoke to who conducted this study said he didn't really see any problem with being vegetarian when you're younger, if that's what you want to do, vegan, vegetarian, healthy diet for a younger person who's able to really absorb those nutrients optimally from all the foods that they're eating. So it really was, his advice was, once you start reaching the age of like 70, 75, maybe start thinking about adding a little something. But, this is still in line with everything we know.
It's great health. It's great health news, Hilary, and we appreciate you doing some investigative work on that and Business Insider. And if you want more on this story, you can head over to businessinsider.com and you can check out Hilary as well as other great articles.
Mitch, thank you. The future of dating apps in New York won't just be an online experience anymore. The League, which claims to vet everyone who joins the app, is launching a series of in-person events as a key part of their service. The League markets itself as an exclusive dating app for smart, career-driven people. And at last stop before turning to a high-end matchmaker, users can pay anywhere from $300 to $2,500 a month to be a member here. The most expensive memberships include a personal concierge who helps create the perfect profile and choose your best photos.
When this first came out, so I was in the dating world when this app came out.
League came out.
And they made it so elite. So I saw it and I was like, all right, I'll try it, whatever. And I was like on a waiting list and finally I got approved. So I got on there. I was like, all right, well, this is gonna be great. And then they just start hitting you up with like, you really need a coach. So I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. Maybe there is something. Yeah, $300 a month. I'm like, I'm not paying $300 a month, but they're going after a specific crowd. That people that can afford $300 a month, all the way up to what we said, $1,500.
Yeah.
And there was specific things that you had to do, and it was also a little bit like I think the other apps where the woman would have to make the first connection, which I actually appreciated.
Sure.
If like I could send you a message, but I wouldn't know if you got it or not unless you responded back, so that sort of thing. But when they started talking prices and that sort of thing, I was like, well, there's just no way I'm going to do that. So I think they kind of downgraded me. Then I find out that these
downgraded.
I was probably downgraded like this.
You
cheap,
were on the C bench.
the cheapo guy that's not going to pay. We're not going to show him to the ladies. But then I found out any new app already starts off with we don't have to call it AI, but fake accounts, so that you think that there's at least women on there. Because if you went through and didn't see any women, you're like, well, I'm not using this app.
Well, the whole Ashley Madison scandal. Did you watch that documentary? Most of those women were all bots.
Absolutely. But it kept guys on it because they think, well, this woman possibly. We're doing some furry friends. You won't believe some of these stories Matt's got for us coming up.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and welcome to your furry friends for this week. Now, guys, it's always sad when a pet gets lost, whether they get spooked, lost, stolen, or what is that? Oh, sorry, no, we don't need them. Anyway, it's sad when they get lost, but it's always a great story when they find their way home, and that's what happened here. Meet 2-year-old Rainbow. Rainbow. It'll make sense in a little bit. Well, Mr. Rainbow was visiting a campground in Yellowstone National Park with his people back in June. His person says they were trying to move him and his sister, Star, from their truck to their traveling trailer. But when she went to untangle the cat's leashes, Rainbow got loose and took off to the forest. They looked for him for 4 days before they had to return to their home in Salinas, California. Salinas, okay. Just south of San Francisco. Now, his owner, Susan, says she saw a double rainbow. See, that's how it comes back.
Okay.
When they were entering the Nevada desert, and she said that it was a sign that Rainbow would be okay. But in August, she received word that Rainbow had been found skinny and a bit roughed up. He was spotted in Roseville, California, almost 900 miles from where he ran off in Yellowstone and about 200 miles from his owner's home. A woman noticed him, captured him, and was able to get his chip scanned. He was then reunited with his family and sister, and his owner said that they will put a pause on traveling with their cats. Because there's pause. It's a pun there. Now, this next story is, we all love squishy things, right? We love our squishy animals. And here's one with squishy cheeks all over. Well, how about when they're just one big squish? Meet walrus, I'm going to mess this name up, Quackuk.
Okay.
It's an Alaskan thing. The Pacific walrus was found on the beaches of northern Alaska, apparently abandoned by its herd. She was taken to the Alaska Sea Life Center and treated for malnourishment before it was determined that she wasn't able to be returned to the wild. She was then sent to SeaWorld Orlando because of their expertise in walruses and a rather large walrus herd. They're going to give her some time to get used to her southern home, and then she'll be able to meet guests. You know, not a bad gimmick when you just get lost and then you go from Alaska to Orlando, right?
Yeah.
You end up in a...
That's how I got here.
Yeah, you end up in a fancy town. So that's your
Very
furry friends
nice.
for the week. Let's do some Flash 5, guys.
Let's do Flash 5. Indeed, it is time now for our Flash 5. It's a chance for you to find out what the number one thing is. And this week, we're talking about music as in top-selling albums. You can play at home. Now, the Recording Industry Association of America, or the RIAA, classifies an album as double diamond when it was just basically over 20 million albums or streaming equivalent units in it in the United States. So we need to find out who made the list. Now, as I show the audience, folks, here, the list from 6 to 10, Matt and Andrea will take the opportunity to write down their answer as to what they think number one will be. These are double diamonds. They've sold over 20 millions. We're also going to have the control room and one of the camera guys. You guys are going to play along as well. You're welcome to play at home. So as you write it down, the number one top-selling album, here's the bottom 5 of the double diamond albums. Number 10 is Crack Rear View by Hootie and the Blowfish. The greatest hits, they sold actually 22 million albums. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Volume 1 and 2, released back in 1985, sold 23 million. Double Live, Garth Brooks, 98, 23 million units sold. Pink Floyd's The Wall in 1979 sold 23. And Led Zeppelin's self-titled album released in 1971 has sold 24 million. Now that was fun, but the name of the segment is called Flash 5. So here we go. Coming in at number 5, it's, believe it or not, the Beatles' White Album. It's actually called The Beatles. It was a self-titled album, but they just called it the White Album because guess what? It was just white. It sold 24 million units so far. Number 4, Hotel California by Eagles in 1976
Really? Wow.
has sold 26 million units. Let's see here. And then we go into number 3, which is AC/DC's Back in Black in 1980. It cashed in with 27 million units. Thriller at number 2 by Michael Jackson, 1982. It has sold 34 million units. Before we show number 1, this is actually very surprising because the number 1 album that has sold the most double diamonds, greatest hits from 1971 to 1975 by Eagles, sold in 1976, 38 million units. Now that was actually released before Hotel California was. Can you believe that? So that shows you how popular Eagles were. And by the way, if anybody ever calls them the Eagles, correct them as they will. It's just
like
Eagles.
the Daily Flash. It's just Daily Flash.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Very good. All right, let's see how you did. Find out from our crew. You picked Michael Jackson Thriller, which I thought as well when I first heard of it.
I went Gangster's Paradise by
Coolio.
I just thought it was up there. I mean, it was popular in my house.
Let's find out what the control room has to say. Control room, you guys, well, back it up a little. Purple Rain. Now, I would have said that too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you, Taylor.
Taylor, that's it. And then camera guys, your pick was?
Mine was The Wall. So
The Wall.
Right into The Wall. The Wall. Okay.
It made the list, but not number 1.
How's a Weird Al not on there?
It's a good question, and you would think more like popular like Michael Jackson for sure, but you would think there would have been more.
Elvis or Spice Girls or
Elvis. You would think
Elvis
that.
won that album alone.
By the way, Green Day, which we were talking about earlier, they just got their first double diamond.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Man, we love having you along here. We're going to have some fun. Think about what's in your refrigerator right now. I went into our little refrigerator we have in our kitchen back here at the studios and looked around. We have a few of these things. I'm going to give you an item. Tell me how long you think it should be kept in after you opened it up. Okay. Mayonnaise, how long? This is all from the USDA, by the way. How long should mayonnaise be in your fridge?
Oh, gosh. 2 weeks.
2 weeks
Like a
after
month?
opening?
2 weeks?
Okay. What do you say,
Wow.
Maddie?
A month?
Month? And what say you, Jamie?
I'm thinking like 3 months at least.
Yeah,
90
you're closer
days.
to it. 2 months. Once you open up, it's okay.
2 months.
I
Okay.
have boom. I already have mayonnaise, much older than that already. Salad dressing. We're talking about the creamy kinds that maybe have eggs and cheese in it. How long?
Oh gosh. Okay, then I'll stick with my 2 weeks.
2 weeks
Yeah.
again?
I'm saying a month.
You
One
can keep
month?
that in there like 6 months.
2 months. 2 months is
2
what they're
months,
saying.
okay.
But if they're oily dressings like maybe Italian, you can keep them a little bit longer.
Oh, all right.
All right, everybody has these ketchup and barbecue sauce. How long do you think you can keep those in there,
The
Jackson?
expiration date.
Once you've opened it up.
Once I've opened it up, I'll say a couple months.
Couple months,
Yeah.
so say three
Yeah,
months,
3
okay?
months.
I'm
James?
going 6 months. with
6
this one.
goes
I'm going a
Jamie?
year.
A year? It's, believe it or not, they say get rid of it after 6 months, keep the eye on the color, which threw everybody off when Heinz came out with that green ketchup.
Yeah, you ever find ketchup in the back of your fridge that's turned black?
Right? I always tell by the time, if I open up the cap, how congealed
Yeah.
the ketchup is on the top
Yes,
of it.
exactly.
We'll move on to mustard. How long mustard?
Oh, I'd say the same.
6
6
months?
months, yeah.
I want to give it a couple of months for mustard.
So less time.
Oh.
Is
I
it?
say 5 months.
1 year. You can use it up to 1 year because it has
year.
vinegar in it. And you think ketchup, because ketchup has a lot of vinegar in it, but that's not the case. And then finally, soy sauce. How long should you keep soy sauce in your fridge?
Oh, I'll say a couple years.
Couple
Yeah, you
years?
can keep 2 years.
Forever.
You know what? Most people believe that you can keep soy sauce forever because it's not real. We think of soy burgers and it's a
Yeah.
replacement for hamburgers, and they're like, well, they can last forever. They're saying actually you could get a year to keep it in your
year,
fridge.
okay.
So
Okay,
soy sauce
okay.
is about the longest. I have broke every one of those rules.
Yeah.
And I know when I bought this, because Liza is all about the healthy mayonnaise, and I will not. And I told her when I got married, if you guys were at my wedding, our wedding rings were in Duke's mayonnaise jars as a joke. And I love Duke's mayonnaise, and I still have one, and I'm the only one that eats it at the house, so I know it's a good year old by now. And I'll
Yeah.
still eat Duke's.
You know how they say the first year of marriage is always kind of
Yes.
the toughest as you're getting used to it? I had to learn that I have to check all the expiration dates in our fridge because my wife does not know when stuff needs to be thrown out. And I'm like, wait, this thing expired in
do it by
October
smell.
and it's May? And
Oh.
she
She
was
just
just
smell
like,
it.
it's still good.
Yeah.
I'm like,
This
yeah.
milk's still some good. Hold on.
And the sell by and best use by dates are different too.
See, that's my question. Like, once you open something up and put it in the fridge, like, do you have some grace period? Do you follow what it says on the jar if it says expiration or use by?
Have you
Some-
guys ever seen cheese packages?
cheese-
Because on cheese packages, it says after you open it, you have 2 days.
And
Any cheese package.
even the orange
Yeah.
cheese, which is not really cheese, it's cheese food, it
cheese
probably
food,
could
yes.
last forever.
Government cheese.
Here's the thing, and I don't know how much I buy it because James had given me a can of whoop ass and I opened it up and he's yet to use it.
Yet to use it, yeah.
So
there's
I
no
don't know if
expiration on that.
There's not?
No
Oh,
expiration
so
on
I'm
that.
scared I'm
What
gonna go in the
about what about the say like the to-go packages?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I would imagine those could last. They're probably designed to
Everybody's
last
got
for
a
long
drawer
time.
with
That's
stuff
a
in there
very
for
good
6
point.
years.
That's a very good. Well, I imagine there's no air that ever gets to it.
Exactly.
Did you have some ketchup? Can we get her some water? You know, and if you,
Did we break Andrea?
Oh, yes, we did. We did it.
poor girl.
Bitch, it only took you 20 years. Good job.
So yeah, it took 20 years. I finally got her off to settle. All I had to do was just make her think about noise. All right, I'm gonna move the chair. We got more Daily Flash. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more of Andrea, whose best use date is just expired. We'll be back with a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere for that. Stick around. We got today's trends tomorrow.
She's okay. She's okay.
Get that woman a lozenge by all means. Check your refrigerators for that. Again, if anything has
Got
eggs,
expired water.
expired water could happen. Stick around. We got more. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Here's one food item for healthy living. Check it out.
Eggs are the secret weapon for getting a meal ready without sacrificing taste or nutrition.
Eggs provide high-quality protein, choline, and other essential nutrients. They're also a nutritious ingredient that can be used in a multitude of delicious ways, like in salads, sandwiches, or in baked dishes. According to the American Heart Association, healthy people can enjoy up to 7 eggs a week. They pair perfectly with fruits, veggies, and whole grains.
For more, visit heart.org/eatsmart.
If you live it, love it or buy it, we talk about it on Life Love Shopping. So let's dive right in. We start with this one. Your heart is the engine of your body, and a heart surgeon has racked up nearly 2 million views with his advice on the 4 bad habits you must avoid to maintain your health. Here's Dr. Jeremy London.
Things I avoid after 25 years as a heart surgeon. Smoking. Smoking directly injures the lining of blood vessels, increases the chance of atherosclerosis and blockages, and causes cancer. It's probably the single worst thing you can do for yourself. Mouthwash, specifically alcohol-based mouthwash. Our gut microbiome, or the good bacteria in our gut, begin in the mouth. So if you kill this bacteria, you can actually throw that out of balance. And interestingly, the bacteria in the mouth help produce nitric oxide, which helps regulate and control blood pressure. So by killing this bacteria, you can actually cause or worsen hypertension or high blood pressure. Limit or remove processed foods from your diet. You are what you eat. Literally, the protein, fats, and carbohydrates that you ingest give the energy and the building blocks to every single cell in your body. Be thoughtful about your nutritional plan. Alcohol. I hate to tell you, but even moderate alcohol use is in question. Why is that? Well, when we drink alcohol, it's broken down to acetaldehyde and acetate. Acetaldehyde is directly toxic to every single cell in the body, and acetate is just empty calories. Your body, your rules, your choice.
Are you ready for the latest annoying trend? It's called the airport tray aesthetic, and it could mean spending even more time in the TSA line. Here we go. Social media videos are capturing the aesthetic of the gray airport tray with neatly displayed items. Fashionistas are taking their time to neatly display all their belongings for the ultimate travel photo brag. The TSA is now aware of the trend with nearly 20 million posts featuring the time-consuming craze. Some are waiting to capture the display once they get through screening, but many don't mind taking their time while holding up the line before prior to pushing their tray through the X-ray machine. The latest beauty trend is taking a walk on the wild side. It's called the Moo Dang look, named after the popular VIP pygmy hippo taking social media by storm.
Inspired by the legend herself, Moo Dang. Why do you ask? Because she has everything. She has dewy skin, a great halo eye, and a zest for life. Is it pinpoint accurate? No, because there are no clear photos of her. It's all blurry, and I love it. I truly hope she knows the impact that she has on the world.
Influencers are trying to mimic the baby hippo's diva-like attitude with her sweet glow and moody halo eye. Even makeup retailer Sephora is getting in on the trend with hand-picked cosmetics. They're promoting the look dedicated to the Thailand hippo with a knack for throwing fits and nipping at the knees of her caretakers. All right, one last one for you here. Have you heard of fridge-scaping? It's the art of decorating the inside of your refrigerator, and now health experts are warning that it could be harmful to your food. Fridge-scaping has taken on a new life on social media. Influencers are showing off how they decorate the inside of their fridge as if it were a room in their home, different than keeping your chilled items organized or color-coded. Health experts say it could cause bacteria. We're back right after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Well, building a home that's safe, sustainable, and resilient is a top priority for homeowners. Today, we're joined by an expert who excels in making those homes a reality, Matt Blashaw. He's a former host on the DIY Network and HGTV's Yard Crashers and Build It Forward. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So what makes a home safe, sustainable, and resilient?
Well, let's start with how we power a home, right? Propane, it's a clean energy that works efficiently with a home in the systems like heating, cooking, and power generation. Right now, we are on the beautiful Kiowa River just south of Charleston, and this home would not be possible without the power of propane. It's an essential part of building a safe home that stands strong, even during the toughest situations. It has an on-site propane tank, 1,000 gallons, buried right in the ground, so you'll never even know it's there, so it gains energy independence. Propane-powered appliances, they last longer, they work more efficiently, and they protect your family and most importantly, the environment.
So how does the way we power a home impact the environment?
So propane is a low carbon energy source. It emits fewer greenhouse gases and harmful pollutants and helps reduce our overall carbon footprint. And it produces up to 52% fewer greenhouse gas emissions than the average U.S. electric grid, because more than 60% of the grid, it's still powered by coal, natural gas, or oil, so that produces poor air quality. And right now we are in a very eco-sensitive area. So in the rare case of a leak, it will not contaminate the soil or water, so really it's a safer environmental option.
Where can we go for more info?
Definitely go to propane.com/formyhome and see what the power of propane can do for you.
Thanks, Matt. We'll make sure we have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Thank you there, Matt and Matt. A new FDA-approved needle-free treatment for people with severe allergies actually is now available in the United States. I'm excited about this. And joining us now is Dr. Thomas Casal. Doctor, let me ask you, is there a major cause and actually symptom of a type 1 allergic reactions?
Well, the major things that we see that send people to the emergency room or give them a severe reaction would be foods, insect stings, medications, and in rare cases, exercise. There's almost 34 million people in the U.S. that are thought to have food allergies, and that drives about 500,000 ED visits a year.
All right, well, let's talk about the importance of actually treating severe allergic reactions quickly. How important is that?
Well, the faster you treat, the better the outcome. We know that, unfortunately, some people have a very severe reaction, require hospitalization, in rare cases, even a fatality. And the quicker you treat with epinephrine, the better the outcome, the less likely that you're going to have to go to the emergency room or have any significant side effects from the allergic reaction.
Give our viewers what it actually means that this new option for patients and their caregivers. What does that mean to them?
Well, I think, we know that, again, epinephrine is the drug of choice, but oftentimes either patients or caregivers are reluctant to use a needle. And this is a needle-free option. It's the same device that is used for opiate overdoses with Narcan. So very simple to use. You just spray once into one of the nostrils, and you get the same epinephrine levels as you do when you inject with an auto-injector.
Folks want to find out more info, where do they go?
Well, they could ask their healthcare provider or can certainly go to the website neffy.com, N-E-F-F-Y. Neffy is the name of the new product, and it is available now by prescription.
Thank you, Doc. I know this could help out a lot of people, and we appreciate you joining us. We'll make sure that we post this full interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com.
With so many changes when it comes to online connection, one company is offering reliable internet service. Here's more.
The Affordable Connectivity Program, a government-sponsored program that provided internet access to low-income households, ended this past June. But Verizon's commitment to keeping you connected has not. Verizon Forward gives eligible customers access to fast, reliable speeds of Verizon Home Internet at an affordable price, as low as $20 a month. Stream, search, and work from home, all while enjoying the everyday perks of being a Verizon Home Internet customer, like no data caps, annual contracts, or equipment charges. For a limited time, eligible customers can get Verizon Home Internet for as low as $0 a month for 6 months. New or existing qualifying customers can enroll following these 3 steps. Pick your plan, check your eligibility, and start saving. The Verizon Forward discount may be combined with certain other discounts, such as autopay, mobile and home discount, Lifeline, military, and veterans discount. See if you qualify to save with Verizon Forward at verizon.com/Verizon Forward.
All right, of course, October is National Seafood Month because it's my birthday month and we all love seafood. It's also the perfect time to put the spotlight on our health and the health of our oceans, as well as the role played by sustainable seafood. Joining us right now is Teresa Ish. She's oceans and environment expert with the Walton Family Foundation. Thank you, Teresa, for joining us. Let's talk about it. Why does sustainable seafood matter to us?
Well, I'm so excited to be here with you to kick off National Seafood Month. It's a great time to consider what it means to eat sustainably. And when most of us think about the food we eat, we think about a farmer on a tractor.
Yeah.
But fishermen are vital to our food systems. And so sustainable seafood helps us support fishing communities and also helps support a healthy ocean.
And something that we need. Most of the earth is ocean. So if you think about that, how important it is, that's a great thing to say. But consumers, how can they know they're actually purchasing sustainable seafood when they go to the grocery store?
Well, all around the world, we eat one species of chicken, but there are 2,500 different kinds of seafood that people eat. So no matter what kind of tastes you like or what your budget is, there's a sustainable seafood option for you. And fortunately, when you go into most grocery stores in the US, sustainable seafood is available. All you have to do is look for a certification or a label that tells you that the product is sustainable. And if the store doesn't have that information, you can ask what they're doing to support a healthy ocean and responsible fishermen. And you'll be surprised, most of these stores will already have made a commitment to buy and sell sustainable seafood.
And it's just, you don't have to worry about the healthiness of it because you know that it's sustainable, it's coming from a great place. Folks want to find out more information about this. Teresa, where can they go?
To learn more about sustainable seafood and its impact on the ocean, you can visit waltonfamilyfoundation.org.
I love it. I'm going to eat me some seafood for tonight. You convinced me, so I appreciate that. If you want to get that link, as well as this interview and so much more, you can find it on our website at dailyflashshow.com. You actually can go there right now.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Two criminal twins, one trying to reform, head out on a dangerous road trip for the ultimate heist. They come up against legal troubles, gunfights, and family drama. This is today's must-watch movie, Brothers.
Where are my emeralds? What's the holdup?
Making arrangements.
Some families have a long line of dentists or lawyers. We had a long line of felons. That's me. The big ugly one is my twin brother, Moke. I had the plans, he had the hands.
Freeze! We just bought a house where we're having a kid.
Bro, come on.
I am finished stealing.
Let's do this one and split.
I have to take a dump. 1, 2, 3, Dracula. We can go 2 out of 3 if you want.
Get on the floor.
I just feel like Wolfman would beat out Dracula.
Wolfman's once a month. Dracula is all the time. Use your head.
This is a new beginning, huh? Can we have some private time?
What's wrong with you? Mom?
Oh, he dented the car.
You were gone 30 years.
I can apologize only so much.
You haven't apologized at all. Why are you back now?
The emeralds, worth about $4 million. I got a plan. What it takes all of us.
Terrible plan.
Suck on my balls.
Hey! Don't make me come back there! I am justice!
Whoa, big stars in that. I haven't
Yes.
seen orangutan since Every Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood, right?
I didn't think you were allowed to have those in movies
I don't think you
anymore.
are. I don't think it's a good idea.
Ooh.
Thank you all for joining us.
Be good, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.